this video ends up being a long one, timestamps will be down in the description. Back at it. We in this. We doing this. Back at it. Hey, it's Kristin, Janae, and today I am back to do another Japanese learning tool review. Now, I know what you're thinking if you've seen my other videos. Kristin, the next video you were supposed to do from JapanesePod101 was supposed to be from their Nihongo Dojo series. Well, I'm getting there. I took a little break from that series, and I also wanted to do something that wasn't stuck behind a paywall and that you can find right here on YouTube, so I decided on JapanesePod101's Listening Comprehension for Absolute Beginner series. I will put a link to that series down in the description if after this review you decide that you want to try it out yourself. So this series is broken down into 4 separate units, and each unit has 5 lessons for a total of 20 lessons in the series. Each video is only 1 to 2 minutes long, and it follows the same format each video you go through. First, the narrator will show you an image to set up the dialogue that you're about to hear, as well as actual question that you're supposed to be able to answer by the end of said dialogue. The image that you will see will serve as like a multiple choice of search, showing you 4 separate pictures in the image that serve as each one of the answers that you could possibly choose. So an example would be, you would hear the narrator say something like, "Onna no hito ga o mise de fuku o mite imasu. Onna no hito wa dono fuku o kaimasu ka?" and show a image like this along with it. So then you would listen to the dialogue and then try to answer the question. Finally, it would go back over the setup, question, and dialogue, all with English subtitles to see if you got it right. I think the difficulty of each dialogue is all about the same, except for one question, the last question in the series. But for the most part, I think you will be able to answer this question if you have a good basic on grammar, so like basic sentence structure, basic verb conjugation, and basic adjective conjugation, along with a pretty decent newbie vocabulary, maybe 200 words or so. You would be able to get through this series. Now, I would love to tell you guys that I came out here and I got every single question right because I'm just that good, but I'm not even gonna lie to you, I didn't. I missed 4. Now, 2 of those I missed at the beginning, and that was really my fault. I could have gotten those right, but I was not taking the time to truly listen. I was kind of just grazing over it. And so I ended up missing words. Like in one of the questions, I missed the word han, like half, so for 5:30 or whatever. And for another one, I missed gozen, which is like AM, to say that it was morning time. And I got those questions wrong, not because they were super hard, not because I didn't know them, just because I was just not there. I was just thinking, I just turned it on. I think it was like the 2nd or 3rd lesson. And I was like, so easy, just grazing, barely paying attention. Now, the other 2 questions that I got wrong, I got wrong. One of them was, I forgot the word for wife, which is possible. Well, obviously. So I was listening to the conversation, and I listened to it a couple times because some of them I did have to just focus in, replay the dialogue so I can hear to get the question right. And oksan, 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 I kept hearing that and I was like, I know what that means, but it's not coming to me right now. And so I got that wrong, but that's understandable. And then the other question that I got wrong was the last question, and it was the question that I mentioned before, where it seemed to not really fit in this series of super easy, how old is blah 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 going to be today? What color is this shirt? I'm downplaying it. The questions are easier than that. You're not just gonna get nansai desu ka? And that's it. That's just gonna be what the question is. They do kind of go out of their way and put it in a dialogue and try to throw answers in there that could be the answer to make sure that you are actually listening. But the last question in the series, the difficulty just spiked up. And I was like, I don't personally buy into a lot of the labels that go into language learning materials, like I will study with anything intermediate or lower because I'm sure I can get something from it for the most part, as long as it's decent study material. I have stuff that's absolute beginner. I have the grammar book that I'm working on right now. Video coming eventually, whenever I get done with it. That's up to intermediate grammar, and it's just like, I think that anything pre-intermediate is subject to whatever stuff the developer was on. So different things are like absolute beginner. Obviously, what I'm trying to say is not the same no matter what language tool you're using. There's no code for up to here is absolute beginner Japanese, and up to here is beginner Japanese, and up to here is advanced Japanese, advanced beginner, then intermediate, then there's no like set. So if you like a tool, obviously disregard what it says the level is. If you like it, use it. Now granted, if you're over here saying watashi wa Susan desu and you can't write hiragana, some stuff is gonna slow you down. So don't jump into the advanced thing or say, why can't I watch my drama without subtitles? You know, you are gonna have to level up. There is something to leveling up, but levels aren't across the board mean the same thing. And so this last question, the level really did jump up, and I was quite surprised by it and quite lost. Like, I understood the setup and I understood the first sentence of the dialogue, and that was it. I was just like, I know we're talking about a big bed, but no idea what we're doing with it. No idea where it's supposed to be. So now that could say more about me. When I looked into the comments, I'm gonna look on YouTube too, and I'll put a title card in here. But when I looked in the comments on JapanesePod101, there was another, like there were others, well really just kind of like one other person, because there was only like 3 comments on this video, but there was another person that was saying this just jumped up. The difficulty just jumped up out of nowhere. But I will go check on YouTube and see what they say. People in the comments on YouTube says, though I know that's a crapshoot. You can get anything in YouTube comments, but maybe I'm wrong. But for me, I felt like it was obviously a big jump. I don't know. That's what I felt like. Now, I do have a little complaint that really only applies to if you end up doing this series on JapanesePod101's website and not YouTube, is that if you use JapanesePod101, you know that whenever there's an audio or video lesson, you click on underneath it, there's the dialogue written out, and then there is a vocabulary section where you can take words that are supposed to be from the video and pull them and throw them into your flashcards or your word bank so you can study them more if they stuck out to you. This place was pulling the dumbest words. Excuse me. I use JapanesePod101. I like JapanesePod101. I'm just saying that out there. This video is not sponsored, obviously, but on their website, they pull out the dumbest words. Like, how many times do we really need to put hanasu for a vocabulary word? We know it means to speak. It still means to speak. And it seems like every lesson that started with a man and a woman are speaking had hanasu in the vocabulary to pull out. But then it wouldn't have other more interesting words that maybe people around this level could take use in. Like Nikki. I never heard Nikki for journal or diary. I thought that would have been a good word to put in the vocab. JapanesePod101 didn't. Or like, what is it, yokai? Yote. See, if I had flashcards for it, I wouldn't have to look and see what I wrote down. Yote, which is like to plan or to intend on doing something. It leaves stuff like that. That could have been an interesting grammar point, kind of vocab to throw in the vocabulary lists. But no, we get hanasu, hanasu, hanasu. So anyway, would I recommend trying this series? Absolutely, there's no reason not to. One, it's free and it's right here on YouTube. You don't have to have a JapanesePod101 account to be able to use it and benefit it, and it's in a playlist already, so it's not like you have to scour through JapanesePod101's YouTube channel to even figure out where it is. Two, everybody has strengths and weaknesses in their language skills when they're learning a language. Now, even though I am an auditory learner, my strongest skill set is reading, which I think is the case for a lot of Japanese learners or even language learners when you're starting out, because that's what you do so much of. You're in a book and you're reading, or you're doing flashcards, and so it's easy. This made me realize that I need to do more real listening, like watching things or listening to music or stuff in Japanese with no subtitles. Because in my head, I just started watching Terrace House. I know I'm late to the game. It came out in like 2015, the end of 2015, but it's on Netflix. It is a Japanese kind of reality-esque show, and I had put that on to study with. I was like, I'm gonna leave the subtitles off. They're real people. They can just see how people are talking. I watched for like 30 seconds, and they had Japanese subtitles. I could have put Japanese subtitles on the bottom, and I didn't do that either. I just said, I want to hear what's going on. So I ended up putting the subtitles on, and I have been watching that. I think I'm going to do a review for it after I finish it, because I think it's kind of interesting. But yeah, so recently, I think this is my third day doing it at the time of recording this, is that I am, one, trying to just listen to Japanese music at this point. It's not like I don't like any Japanese music, so I'm trying to just listen to Japanese music, and I'm trying to at least take 1 hour every day to actively listen with no subtitles and watch an anime or a drama or something for at least 1 hour a day. I really want to get more into listening, because obviously that's one of the goals. You want to be able to understand when somebody talks to you, and as someone who watches dramas, who watches now Terrace House, who watches anime, you want to be able to watch all that crap without subtitles. Now, I know that is a years thing, but still, you should work on your listening skills at the same time. I read an article, I'll see if I can find it, about why you should, I think they call it total immersion. I think you're supposed to have Japanese playing in your ear or like in your house like all day, every day. I haven't graduated to there, but maybe that's the goal. I'll link the article that I read. It's like a blog post down below, so you guys can check it out, because it's really interesting why you should do it. And three, the last reason why I say you should check out this listening comprehension series is that it really kind of helped me point out things that I didn't know that I needed to work on anymore. I obviously need to go back and work on kinship terms. Now, I don't mean things like onisan, onesan, okasan, otosan, oji-san, oba-san. Not like that. Imoto, toto. Those are simple. Everybody gets those as soon as they start learning Japanese. That's the first things that come up in flashcards. That's if you use Rosetta Stone, it comes out. If you use Memrise, it comes up. If you use so many things, they work on those basic kinship terms, the basic family terms. I get it. It's because realistically, a lot of these are aimed at, say, like college kids maybe. So you're talking about your older brother and your younger brother and your mom and your dad and your grandma and your grandpa, but you're not getting words like, on 2 occasions in this listening, I didn't know, like I said, okusan, which is wife, and I didn't know musuko. See, now I gotta check how to say it again. See, I got some studying to do. Where is it? Musuko. Musu or su. I think that's what it is. If I'm an idiot, I'll fix it on the screen. But musuko-san. When I was listening, I got this question right. But when I was listening to these dialogues, I thought musuko-san was a person. I thought we were talking about musuko-san. Musuko. I thought we were talking about Musuko-san. I thought that was just somebody like Takahashi-san or Tanaka-san or Yamada-san. I just thought that that's what we were doing. Nope, it means son, and I had no idea. So things like son and wife and daughter and husband, things that are not gonna come up so much in like Genki or in those kind of lessons aimed at a college kid, I have to go back and work on those. And I wouldn't have gotten that without learning, because that was one of the things, kinship terms, that's one of the things I thought I had down pat. It's one of the things you learn at the beginning. And even plain kinship terms like chichi, haha, ani, ane, those kind of things. Even plain is informal. I know it depends on what learning tool you're working on right now, but plain, informal, it's the same thing. But even those, I thought I had it down. So it is nice, it was nice to have something that said, hey, you don't know this as good as you think you do. And the other thing that I know, that I already knew that I needed to work on, is my class counters. You know, Satsu, Hai, I know Nin. I know Satsu now, obviously, since I'm saying it, but just to go back and go over those, because that's something that kind of gets lost, and that's something you really do need to know. Anyway, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more Japanese learning tool reviews, hit that subscribe button. I'm back, I'm making videos. I got my camera set up. I got this ghetto little background that I'm working on right now. It will probably be different in the next video, but this is what it is for right now. If you haven't seen my other videos about reviewing learning tools, I got a playlist right here. I talk about Rosetta Stone. I talk about JapanesePod101's Absolute Beginner Season 1. I talk about Memorize. We're back. I got a Nihongo Dojo. I started for the first time in a long time back up today, but that probably won't be out for a little while. Same with Pimsleur, but I'm working on Practice Makes Perfect Complete Japanese. That is the current book that I'm working on. I'm trying to dig down on grammar. I've never really dug down on grammar, so that's my goal for right now. And I have to say, I'm on the 5th chapter of that book, so when I'm done, there's 15. So when I'm done with that, I will come back. But I'm on the 5th chapter right now, and I have to say that this book has given me the fastest jump in Japanese comprehension, if that makes sense. Like, I can see the fastest, most significant growth that I've ever seen with any other language tool. But that review will be coming probably soon. I also have gonna do a video on my favorite YouTube channel to help you learn Japanese for free. That'll probably be my video next week, because that is pretty easy to do. And I think it will be a good one, because I think that that's a good channel and it can help a lot of people who are not looking to spend no money to learn Japanese. But until the next video, bye-bye.